I'm Rick Croy, head men's basketball coach, CBU. This is the road to WAC Vegas.
New Mexico State going on to the tournament. Just a phenomenal game. What college basketball is all about.
I'm Mark Madsen, head coach, Utah Valley University. And this is the road to WAC Vegas.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into our first episode of The Road to WAC Vegas, presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Rachel Vigil. Hopefully, 2021 is better than what we had in 2020, but if there has been one thing that has been constant throughout the year, it's been change. New Mexico State is now in Arizona. The Aggies will be playing their home games at Grand Canyon University. Due to COVID restrictions in their home state, New Mexico State has set up shop in Phoenix. The men's team is playing in Antelope Gym, with the women calling the Canyon Activity Center home. With a carryover from 2020, the Aggies men's program was put on pause Monday night because of a positive COVID-19 test within the program. So, New Mexico State's WAC opening games at Dixie State Friday and Saturday have been postponed to March 5th and 6th. The Chicago State men's basketball program will not be playing any more games for the rest of the season. In a statement, the CSU Intercollegiate Athletics Department said they are suspending men's basketball to focus on the health, safety, and academic pursuits of the men's basketball student athletes. The Cougars played 9 non-conference games this year. Head coach Lance Irvin opted out of the season in November. Coach Irvin is a cancer survivor who had a bone marrow transplant 10 years ago. He stepped aside at the advice of his doctor. The Cougars were originally scheduled to host UTRGV this week. Meanwhile, we do have some conference games that will be getting underway this week, and with the travel restrictions, teams will now be playing games back-to-back. Grand Canyon and new coach Bryce Drew have started the season with a record of 6-3. The Lopes will travel to Stephenville, Texas this week to face WAC newcomer Tarleton. Senior center Alessandro Laver leads GCU in scoring at more than 15 points per game. But Wichita State transfer center Asbjorn Midtgaard is close behind with 14 points per contest. That's the same average as reigning WAC freshman of the year Javon Blackshear Jr. Tarleton is 3-2 to start the season. Their head coach is former WAC Coach of the Year Billy Gillespie. The Texans raised some eyebrows in their second ever Division I game at Texas A&M. TU led the Aggies in the second half before eventually falling 73-66. The Texans and Lopes play Friday and Saturday at 7 Central Time. Both of those games will be on ESPN+. The WAC Spotlight game on ESPN Plus is also back this season, and we have a great matchup on Friday night. California Baptist and leading scorer Ty Rao will be on the road in Orem, Utah. CBU has started the season with a record of 3-2. They face Utah Valley and Das Amac, the leading rebounder in the NCAA, pulling down more than 15 boards per contest. That game is set to start at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Friday on ESPN+. Coming up next, we talk with the Mad Dog himself. Head coach Mark Madsen from Utah Valley men's basketball will be joining us here on the road to WAC Vegas to talk about WAC play starting up.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Welcome back to the road to WAC Vegas. Excited to have our very first guest of the season on, and that is the head coach of the men's basketball team at Utah Valley, Mark Madsen. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rachel. Thank you for asking. I hope you and the WAC team had a great holiday. We're doing well. Everyone in the WAC has been through quarantines, experienced game cancellations, and we're doing the best we can. We're excited to have a week of practice this week with most of our players, and so that's exciting news. And obviously conference play starts, and so I think all the member teams are excited about that.
Let's talk a little bit about those cancellations. How hard has it been not having to play consistent games and having to bounce back after those?
It's tough because a lot of times you get the word that there's going to be no game maybe 24 to 48 hours before the game, and it's either a positive or an exposure to a positive in your own program or another program. And so when the cancellation happens or the postponement, there's a letdown, but then you just go into scramble mode. I got to get a game. We have to play a game. And you just basically, you and the whole staff kind of work the phones almost nonstop, trying to find someone that also has an opening in their schedule.
How have you felt that the players have dealt with this, knowing that they could possibly play a game, but at the exact same time, knowing there's a possibility that they can't?
I think it's hard with the uncertainty. We had 3 games, 3 cancellations right around Christmas time, and we brought the players back December 27th with no game on the schedule until conference started. And understandably, some of the players, a couple of the players just thought, if we don't have a game, why are we coming back the 27th? Well, the answer is because we need to put work in. But we ended up getting a game against Weber State, or a really good Weber State team, a few days later. And so that's what this season is. It's last minute games. It's last minute prep, but that's for every team. And it's tough, but at the same time, it's exciting because, in tournament play, whether it's the WAC tournament, the NCAA, or the NIT, there are quick turnarounds there also.
In each state, it's totally different as for COVID guidelines. So what's the expectation for your players when they're not on the court?
Well, number one, mask up. Wearing of the mask is important. It's our policy here in the program. It's government policy. And so wearing the mask wherever you go is extremely important. And then secondly, be careful. There are people having huge gatherings out there, which are ill-advised. In some states, it's illegal. And so we really tell our players to be smart. Obviously, I can't dictate to my players what they're going to do 24 hours a day. People have lives, they have families. Some of the families are local. But what I can say is do not.
Oh, looks like we lost you there for a quick second, Coach. Can you repeat the last sentence that you said?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then just in terms of the COVID safety away from basketball, we can't tell them what to do 24 hours a day. We can highly encourage it because, look, players have families, players have significant others, but we can wholeheartedly encourage safety at the highest level, and we can mandate it when they're on campus.
Well, we're here obviously to talk basketball. We could talk COVID for probably a few minutes, but let's talk some basketball now. You sit at 2-5 on the season. You've had a couple of really close games, including the one at Wyoming. What would you say is your most complete game as a team?
Well, I think that number one, the guys have played really well. Probably in all but one of our 7 games, we really had an opportunity to win it in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. And so what we've talked about is the importance of high-level execution in key situations in games, key box outs, valuing each possession and taking care of the ball, and then when it's all said and done, we need guys to step up and make plays with good spacing and with good ball movement. And in a lot of games we've done that. I'm very encouraged going into conference with the way the guys are playing, the momentum we have. I think we're starting to peak, kind of have that pre-conference peak as I've watched our practices. And again, hopefully we can also be peaking going into the conference tournament.
JJ Overton is leading the team in scoring, better than 19 points per game. How has he lived up to the expectations that you set for him this season?
Well, JJ is a unique talent. JJ can do a lot of different things on the court. He's a two-way player. In this day and age of Instagram and YouTube, some guys, kind of get funneled into just wanting to be an offensive guy. JJ loves defensive challenges. He has the energy and the stamina to take those on. But then also at the other end, he has a wide variety of kind of ways he can attack offensively. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the outside shot. He gets to the free throw line. Finishes at the rim with strength and with aggressiveness. And so JJ's been playing well. He was out for a little while as well due to a medical reason, COVID. I don't think that's non-public at this point, but he's doing very well.
And Das Amac has been a huge name for the Wolverines this season, leading the nation in rebounding as well. What makes him so explosive getting balls off the glass?
But Fardas has worked himself into really, really good shape. physically. He has speed. And Fardaws, he has a huge heart. He has a huge heart. Fardaws is someone that can rebound outside of his area. He's an explosive post player, and he's a really strong leader. Fardaws is one of our team captains, along with JJ. You mentioned JJ and a few others, but Fardaws, hard work defines who Fardaws is as a person. Hard work is something that he exhibits both off the court and on the court. And by the way, he's doing it in the classroom as well.
That's what we love to hear. And I had the opportunity to have him on All Access earlier, well, I guess back in 2020 now, and he has so much strength, and you can tell he truly loves the team, but also he loves the conference. So how has that leadership really helped on the court?
Well, it's helped on the court because when one of your best players, what we talk about here is the video has to match the audio. So if someone say, I'm a great shooter, I need more shots. Well, they shouldn't be, they need to be shooting, 35, at least 35% from three, probably in the 40s. If someone says, hey, I'm a great driver, and I can finish at the rim. Well, when we watch a tape, we should see those things. Well, Fardaws is someone whose video matches the audio, meaning he works hard in the weight room, on the court, and his actions reflect what he's saying, and so that gives him a lot of credibility.
Another big man that you have on your team is Evan Cole. We talked to him at preview day. How has he lived up to the expectations that you had for him at the beginning of the season?
Very well. Evan has responded to challenges. He played a very good University of Utah team. Evan had 31. Evan was really unstoppable, and Evan does it in a variety of ways. He can step out and shoot the three. He can put it down, drive to the rim, finish with a dunk. He's got post moves, left block and right shoulder and left shoulder. And so I've been really pleased with Evan in terms of, he's also been a guy that when he practices, he goes hard. He goes hard in practice. That helps elevate the play of the guys in the program.
You'll take on California Baptist this weekend, Friday and Saturday. With the new back-to-back schedule, how do you adjust practices?
Well, it's similar to what happens at the pro level a lot, Rachel, with the back-to-backs. Sometimes in the pros, you might have 3 or 4 back-to-backs in probably 3 to 4 weeks. Obviously, load management's important. We're not going to go out and kill them on Thursday. And depth becomes important, which we think we have. And so I think every team, this is new. And this is something that we're prepared for and we're excited for.
The Lancers are coming off 3 big wins back in 2020. What needs to be done to slow their roll?
Well, the Lancers, they have shooting at almost every position. And so, defending, they're great shooters. Guarding the post, they've got some proficient post players and rollers rolling to the basket. They have a nice balanced attack. They do a good job of ball movement. And so it's going to be looking at their schemes and knowing their schemes and doing our best to break rhythm.
Awesome, Coach. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much, Rachel. All the best to you in the coming year.
That's Utah Valley men's basketball head coach Mark Madsen. Coming up next on the road to WAC Vegas, we're talking the Great Scott. We'll be right back.
We can stand together by standing far apart.
Stay 6 feet apart from other people.
Wear your mask when you go out.
Wash your hands often.
If you feel sick, stay home.
Be respectful of others.
The choices you make are critical.
By protecting yourself, it helps protect all of us.
Your actions can save lives.
What we do now will shape our future.
Stay safe.
Welcome back to the road to WAC Vegas. Grand Canyon freshman Katie Scott has been named WAC Player of the Week not once, not twice, but 3 times already this season. The center leads the WAC in scoring with more than 20 points per game. She also is 2nd in field goal percentage and 1st in 3-point percentage, hitting at 60% behind the arc. Scott and the Lopes were supposed to host conference newcomer Tarleton this Friday and Saturday at the GCU Event Center, but positive tests within the Texans program have led to the series being postponed. California Baptist is 8-0 to start the season, and they lead the WAC. This weekend, they'll take on Utah Valley. The Wolverines were the preseason coach's pick to win the conference. CBU is led by senior guard Ane Oleda. She leads the WAC in assists at more than 8 per game. Senior Brittany Thomas is leading the WAC in rebounding at 10 per contest. Thomas also has the highest field goal percentage at .674. Utah Valley has 3 games under their belt, going 2-1. Josie Williams leads the team in scoring at more than 15 points per game. The junior center is also pulling down 8 rebounds per contest. Friday's game is at 2 p.m. with Saturday starting at noon Pacific on the WDN. New Mexico State was scheduled to host Dixie State in Phoenix this week, but the Trailblazers announced on Tuesday night that they are suspending women's basketball activities for the remainder of the season. DSU Director of Athletics Jason Booth said, quote, "While we are disappointed with this for our women's basketball program and its coaches and student athletes, it is 100% the right call." UTRGV was scheduled to host Chicago State this week, but the Cougars program is on pause after a positive COVID test within the program. That's going to do it for this episode of The Road to WAC Vegas. We'll see you next week.